Shut up and sit down.
Yes, folks, I got him to be quiet. I still missed the intro by a millisecond, but hello, everybody. Yes, it's Friday Frolic time again with me, Festa 67's workshop. And him.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Hello.
Yes, folks, I apologise beforehand to anyone of a nervous disposition for subjecting you to that screen. Anyway, I now digress. It's great to be here. It's Friday. It's Frolic times, and yeah. Anyone tuning in thinking they're going to get a serious model show is going to be sorely disappointed. But
you crazy fools.
Yeah. So anyway, don't forget, folks, the usual blurbage. If you want to help keep the channel alive, you can head over to patreon.com, Festa67's workshop. Click the join button below and become a channel member, or put a super chat in. Helps keep all of this going, basically. And talking of the decent folks, this is where everyone in the chat is all super important. First in, we've got Itchbean Sophie. There you go. Saying hi Festa, hi Fox, and hello everyone in the chat. Hello Sophie,
Hello,
hope
Sophie.
you're doing all right. Lovely to see you in, and hope you're keeping well. We got myself and Fox there saying hello to Sophie and everyone else. Fox saying good evening, Parps. Wiggly Squigglers, and hello to Sophie as well. Athena is in. I think it's Athena this month. Yes. It is, isn't it? Evening all. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Athena. Hope you're doing well as well. Jeff Light is in, saying hi, guys. Hello, Jeff. How you doing, hey, mate? Love to you, and big hugs to Maggie as well. Hope you're both doing all right. We got Lord Max, and he's beginning, saying hi, everyone. I hope you're all having a good evening. Hello, Max. Love to you. Max. Carol and Larry, I hope you're all doing well, and big hugs and all of that lot issued. Andy's in from Quinstar's Scale Models, saying evening all. Hope you're all right. Also, hope you have a great show. Hello, Andy. Hope you had a good time up in Scotland, mate, and it all went okay for you and the gang up there, mate. I hope you had a good laugh. Marcus is in. He says, good evening, Cold and Fox and chat. Yes, I've changed my name now to Cold.
So not Cold.
Yeah, lovely to see you and all of that. Look, hope you're doing all right. And Marcus was live earlier on this evening, folks. Jeff Light said hello to Andy at Quinstar. Max McGinn says hi to myself. JC Bricks and Builds is in, says evening, morning, Colin Fox, all in chat. Festa and Fox Hugs. Hello, mate. How you doing? Love to you. Alicia and Shania. Hope you're all right. Everyone said hello to each other there. Max McGinn says hi to Andy, Marcus, Athena, JC, and everyone else. AJ is in, says evening, everyone. Hello, AJ. How you doing, mate? Lovely to see you. I hope you're doing all right on this wonderful Friday evening, stroke Saturday morning. Jeff says hello to AJ. Lord PJ of Lewis is in. Yes, the Squire of the Manor is amongst us. Balding Colin, he says that's no moon. I see what you did there. Dr. Snuggles with his cotton wool head. Fox says it's no ponytail. And everyone in the frolicking chat. Hello, PJ. I hope you're doing all right. We're always in over at LWM saying hi all. Hello, Bill. How you doing, mate? I hope you're keeping well.
Hey, Bill.
Everyone said hello to each other there. PJ says that's a serious model show on where? Yeah, certainly not here, mate.
Except for viewers in Scotland.
Robert Ison says good evening all. Nice to meet you, Festa. I'm new here, first time here. Hello, Robert. How are you doing, mate?
Hello, welcome.
Lovely that you could join us. Welcome to our little world of madness. And hope you are keeping well and all your loved ones are keeping well. Lovely to see you on board. Put up a chair, cup of tea, a bite to eat. Don't forget, folks, talking of that, bench, belly, and beverage. What's on the bench? What is in your belly, and what is your beverage of choice? I'm remembered this week. I feel so proud of myself. So yeah, me personally, on the bench tonight, I have my little G7 107 US truck. Bins going up. In my belly, I'm going to have a couple of little crunches because I should be having my dinner after the live stream. And I've got a nice cup of tea and a bottle of juice just in case I end up with a throat drier and Gandhi's flip-flop.
What's dinner? Is it Chish and Fips?
It certainly is, mate, with northern gravy. The Fox from Fox's Garden says, evening, everybody, and critters. Hello to Fox at Fox's Garden.
Hello, Fox in my garden.
Hope you're doing all right. And I hope he's looking after you. See what I did there?
Yeah, say don't fight with the stripy cat from next door. She's only tiny.
Talking of the Fox, yes, I better interact with the screen next to me. How's me mum? Don't care about you. All right. How's you and how's me mum?
Mum all's fine. I'm fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you? Yes, we're all fine. Mum Wolf is in bed as always because she's thousands of years old. I say, right, it's Friday. Bugger off to bed. Go on, off you go.
Oh, bless her. Did she put up any resistance? No.
No.
You just got a newspaper flutter like that.
I say to her, "It's what day is it?" She goes, "Friday, Festa, midnight, early night." There you go.
Bye.
No, I'm fine. Tonight I am continuing on my Deathcore of Krieg Horsey Mans, my Astra Militarum Army set.
That's right.
All I've got left to do now is put the dudes on the horses. And I was going to do some of this week, but I never got around to it. So I'll do a bit of that tonight, and then off camera, I'll probably get them finished and go back to doing something.
Yeah, you're getting bored, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm getting bored with it. Because I think if I just sat and built these in one go, it'd be great. I'd do them in a day or two. But because you do it like week after week, because I leave these to one side until tonight because I need stuff to work on during the show, and you kind of lose your mojo for it. So
that's the trouble, isn't it?
It out. Yeah, your enthusiasm gets captured by other things during the week. So we'll do
it wanes. It vexes, my dear.
It waxes and wanes.
We have got, I'm going to interrupt you, we've got model making royalty in, folks. The community's very own Carl Sagan is amongst us, saying hello, Festa Foxx, James Max, Jeff, Marcus PJ, and all in chat.
Yes, and I was prepared. Since, in the long run, every planetary society will be endangered by impacts from space, every surviving civilization is obliged to become spacefaring, not because of exploratory or romantic zeal, but for the most practical reason imaginable, staying alive.
Here you go, yes, folks. Yep. We are indeed honoured to have Lord Jeff of Mongoland is in amongst us. I hope you keep him well, Jeff.
Yep.
And,
big hugs to you. Yeah, if you don't know this, you always get a Carl Sagan quote when Jeff comes in because he's just Carl Sagan. Basically.
He is our very own Carl Sagan. Yeah. Man is a legend.
He's basically our Dollar Tree Carl Sagan. So
absolutely. We got some benches and bellies in. Jane's belly, garlic, chicken Keeves. Bench finished to me a 112 Nissan Fairlady. 240 ZG says. Finished WH Crondy, son of Dracothian. Beverage cherry Pepsi. Happy days. Bill's belly is chicken and mushroom soup. Still not able to handle solids. Sorry to hear that, mate. Bench, not felt up to it. Clean PJs, SpongeBob. See what he did there.
SpongeBob. Oh, Crondis is the big dragon thing, isn't it? Yes, that's got that.
Absolutely. Marcus is scooting off. Have a great stream. Enjoy all. Stay safe. Catch you on the flip side. Take care, Marcus. Lovely to see you, mate. Thanks for popping in. James says, he says, scrolling up there. James says, but PJ, this serious modelling show builds the Bluey car. So he did there. Nervous twitch incoming.
That is a serious modelling.
Absolutely.
Do you know my handwriting is so bad? I wrote a number on the bottom of that and I can't actually tell what number it is.
Oh, lovely.
I think it's 17, but I could be wrong.
Looks like a 2 to me. Looks like 12.
Could be.
Getting back to benches and bellies, a feeder says belly, chips and pitters, followed by 5 box of choc eggs, cream egg and caramel, all stick a fork in you. Bench, every kit I haven't built has been having a move round. Bevy, Dr. Pepper, Baboon, actually an orangutan is right turn, Clyde, so what you did there.
Right turn, Clyde.
Fox watching from Fox's garden, belly, half dead mouse I found earlier. Bench, I don't have thumbs, so I don't do models. Bevy, water from that muddy puddle.
Hey, now try and kill more mice, because
absolutely. Sophie is doing a cross stitch. Belly, homemade dark chocolate muffins. Beverage, San Miguel, good choice. PJ's belly is chicken vindaloo with garlic naan. Bench, back on the Revell 72nd Red Arrows diorama. Bench, Ashai Super Dry beer, 5% volume. Natasha is in, says hi to Uncle Festa Foxx and chat. Hello, Natasha. Big hugs. PJ says morning to Candygram. Hope you're all right. Sophie says hi to Natasha, and Natasha says hi to Sophie. There you go.
Yeah.
It's the chat all done.
I've missed my San Miguel alcohol free because the co-op we get our shopping orders from stopped stocking it.
Oh right, yeah.
It's one of the few beers because I don't really drink anymore, so I don't really have alcoholic drinks. But it was alcohol free and it was really nice. Yeah. Because San Miguel alcoholic is just not very nice, but the alcohol free is dead sweet. I miss that.
So Rose, so we won't glue that on yet because I want to do all of the interior. So that's Andy Harry.
61.
Okay, all the small stuff can wait. Do that off there.
I like this. They give you a sprue here, right, with 2 pieces.
Yeah.
61 and 59. I'm going to assume that that's 61 and that's 59, but it could equally be that's 59 and that's... I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Warhammer sprue numbering. Yeah, it's a unique thing, isn't it?
Bless them. I also need 65, 58, 59.
So has Mum been up to any mischief, mate?
No, she's just been chilling and illing. That's what she does.
Yeah.
Chilling and illing. She's been very good this week.
Oh, good.
She's got in the habit of kind of getting up when I get her up now, which is quite nice.
Yeah, it's because it's spring, summertime, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's like my mum during the winter. Absolute nightmare.
Yep. Well, you see, I've developed this technique now that instead of just going in and saying, morning you, come on, it's time to get up, blah, blah, whatever, which never works. I just walk in and go, are you up yet?
Yeah.
And she goes, I'm up, what? And she's up then. She's like, oh, wait, So.
You don't normally get the, how can we say, very stern go away mode.
Not as often anymore, no.
Yeah.
Not really. I think now she's downstairs, it seems to have changed the way she sees it. So, because she's not in her own bedroom anymore, she's not all snuggled up and saying, go away, I'm in my own little world.
Yeah.
It seems to be not the case anymore. She's more happy to wake up. So.
Oh, that's all right. That's a result, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes my life a bit easier. Otherwise, I'd be going up and down the stairs 30 times just to get her up, and I'd just have legs like tree trunks.
Yeah, you'd have Schwarzenegger legs, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. I'd have all the legs in the world. 64, 65. Right, it's the hunt for the parts, which saps my will to live on this kit.
Bless.
64, 65.
PJ goes, alcohol free. Yeah, that's no fun at all. Yeah.
Well, it depends though, because I don't really. Just sat in.
Yeah, I would say I don't miss it. I used to like a nice JD, but
yeah.
But I haven't missed it.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going out with friends and stuff, then yes, I'll have a beer and things like that. But if I'm just sat inside at home, I've got to look after Mum anyway, so I can't really afford to be drinking anything. So
no, it's just with the medications I take, it's just
Yep. So, but yeah, the San Miguel, it just tastes really nice. The alcohol-free stuff. They sent us the alcohol stuff once, and it was vile. I was like, I can't drink that.
Yeah, last time I had a San Miguel beer was before I got married. Many years ago.
Which reminds me, I've got bottles of Dr. Pepper in the fridge.
Dr. Pepper. What's the worst that can happen?
What's the worst that could happen? Well, all your teeth could fall out, and then your hair could fall out, and your widge could shrink, and all your legs could fall off. That'd be bad. Oh, hello, pig. Let's get all the bits off first, Fox, before you start cleaning them all.
Yeah.
How is everyone's temperatures tonight? Is everybody out there in Chatland having a nice, pleasant evening?
Oh, it's very warm here, mate. I've got the fan on. Hopefully you can't hear it on the stream. But I've got my big 16-inch industrial fan going. If you can hear it, I'll turn it down.
Yeah, same with me. I mean, Festas, your fan's actually really good. It's never usually picked up, but I don't often have mine on, so if people can hear my fan, just let me know and I'll turn it off.
Yeah.
Same with me, but... Yeah, it's weird, though, because it's been like... Because like you, I manage my curtains and my open and closed doors and windows throughout the day to make sure the sun bit is all in darkness and the bit where the sun's gone and it's a bit cooler is open. And it's been nice and cool until I got ready for the show, and then it went, actually, let's just warm up a little bit.
Yeah, once I switched everything on, it was like, okay, instant hotness.
Instant exploding. Jeff Light says, belly earlier was cottage pie followed by raspberries and cream.
Nice one.
You see what I did there? Beverages, our usual Friday evening tipples. Bench is currently empty. DD is finished. About to start my very first resin figure. Ooh.
Oh, nice one. Get in, my son.
Max McGinn, Athena says, folks, you should try Brewdog's alcohol-free beer. It's really good. Yeah, but I don't like the guy that runs Brewdog.
Okay, don't know the bloke.
No, it might have changed, but yeah. It's they had a lot of bad PR a few years ago.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes, for various reasons. Okay. But my favourite beer in the whole world, my favourite beer ever, is one that's local to me.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's the Dunham Breweries, and they do this stuff. It's just called Dunham Milk Stout.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just the best beer in the world.
It's so nice. I used to like all the real ales.
Yeah,
I had slow gin as well.
Oh, yeah, slow gin. I'm a real
brewing
ale
a bit
man
of
myself.
slow gin. Yeah.
Yeah. Big jar full of slows.
Yeah. So,
You're a slow.
I used to like doing a bit of the home brewing as well with the old beer kits and stuff like that.
See, my parents in the 70s were the proper like good life nonsense with a bit of veg patch at the back.
Yeah.
And they had the carboys in the pantry with like making their own wine out of carrots and stuff. I don't think they ever drank it. I never remember it ever being drunk. It was just made and then just, I assumed, thrown away.
Yeah, my mum used to have the old pantry cupboard with the slate shelves and
Yep. Making like damson gin and stuff. Max says, yeah, speaking of co-op, we got cyber attacked on bank holiday, so it's been a fun couple of days of no deliveries.
Yeah, it seems to be the thing at the moment. British retail outlets seem to be getting targeted, and it's like, yeah.
I noticed when I did an order the other day, it says, some items may not be available because of the reasons. Well, yeah, we know what the reasons are.
Yeah, it's like, really? Come on.
Natasha says, Max says he's all right, he's good. Natasha says, glad to hear Max, I'm still suffering with my lung in and out of hospital in the week since pneumonia, but I'm okay though. I hope it gets better soon, Natasha. Pretty hard stuff in pneumonia.
We're all falling apart. We're all at that age now.
Old and knackered, aren't we? You're all just headed for the knacker's yard. Bill says, anyone remember Caliber alcohol-free beer that tastes like Epsom salts? Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, that was the stuff. Yeah. Do you remember Lowenbrow Lager?
Oh, God, I remember. I don't know if anyone will have even ever heard of this. Right. But there was a pub near me, and they were like a proper old man's pub. And they had a beer I'd never come across before or since, which was Eingebrau.
Oh, right, yeah.
Proper Bavarian beer, but they had a non-alcohol version. And the actual normal one just tasted like beer, but the alcohol-free tasted literally like a pint glass of honey.
Oh, right.
It was amazing. It was like the sweetest. It was so nice to drink. I used to drink gallons of it. I've never come across it since Eingebrau. Going back to the 90s there. Jeff says, currently 9 degrees centigrade with clear skies, had 20 degrees C this afternoon. Sounds about right.
Oh, nice one.
Same. Natasha says, it's okay, can do only certain things at certain days at times. I'll change at the moment. I'll start that again because I just butchered that sentence. Can only do things at certain days, certain times. Nothing I will change at the moment, working around it.
Yeah.
Athena,
Improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Yeah. And Athena says, I'm dreading tomorrow as it's going to be 22 degrees centigrade when I promised Ivy a homemade Chinese will be in the kitchen for a fair chunk of the afternoon. Yeah, you blew your trousers on that one, didn't you?
Yeah, you did, mate. You know, it's...
Could be good for the weight loss program, lol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine that Ivy's going to be there with arms folded going, really, Dad?
Well, you could just do a homemade, do a stir fry. It's like 5 minutes. Bean sprouts, sliced, shredded carrot, shredded cabbage, some other bits and bobs, chestnuts. 5 minutes in the frying pan. There you go, stir fry. Done.
Like a Gordon Ramsay.
I know. Come to me for all your cooking needs. I'll tell you how to make chips and stir fry, and that's it.
Yeah.
As long as it's stir fry chips or pasta, you're golden.
Ought to be Oriental menu, 2 chicken and mushroom pot noodles in a bowl. Done.
Yeah, but they come with chopsticks, so.
Natasha says, I feel 140. Yeah. I was out and about last Sunday, and it was that realisation of how the condition has progressed. Kind of hit home last week, and it was like, yeah. So.
Yeah. Some things aren't quite as easy as they used to be anymore.
Yeah, it was that reality check that none of us really likes ever getting, but...
No.
Yeah, so it was... Yeah.
It's made worse when you've not been out for a while or you've not done anything strenuous for a while, and suddenly you're doing something like that and you're like, oh, yeah, that's something I'm not going to have on my menu for real now.
Yeah, but luckily H is H, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
She's like, yeah, you're pushing yourself too much. Come on, sit yourself down for a bit. Yeah. Like
me when I did a bit of the gardening last year and got a heat stroke. I'm never going in the garden again, mate. Yeah, right, time to get a gardener.
Yeah, you just got to adapt. It's just one of them. None of us like the reality check it gives us, but
no,
dare I say it, or accept it, ain't you?
Well, I mean, realistically for me, it was more going out on the hottest day of the year after having simply 1 cup of coffee at the heat, the middle of the day when it's the hottest, and trying to do manual labour was probably the problem, not. But, hey, it made me never do it again, so.
Yeah, it's them 2 words, isn't it? Common and sense, mate. We all seem to lose that as we age.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that, right, this is what gets me.
If you're one of those people.
People, like, if somebody asks me for advice, I can happily give people advice on all kinds of things. But I'm the worst person at actually giving myself my own advice.
Yeah.
And there's been times when somebody's asked me, how do I do X, Y, or Z? I've told them how to do something or explain something to them. And then I've realised if I was doing that myself, I probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably just mess it up. It's like I can give advice, but I can't actually do it.
No, I'll give people moral support, all of that. But I'm the worst person at actually doing it myself,
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you really must put this varnish coat down before you do X, Y, and Z. Then I go off and not do that.
Yeah.
On my own models, because I'm just far too lazy.
So, yeah.
They say doctors make the worst patients, but what I'd say is idiots make the worst advice givers.
But you was amazed how micro small H is, aren't you?
I have now witnessed H in a photograph because I've never seen H before.
Yeah.
I mean, some people have, but I've never seen H before. I've heard a voice and I've seen a hand.
Yeah.
So I've seen a photograph of H stood next to an object of diminutive dimension, let's say.
Yes. It was giving you that scale perspective, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like looking at a tilt-shift picture. Everything just looked wrong.
Yeah. It's a bit like I said to Fox about Micro Mum. But until he saw her stood next to myself, it's like, oh my God, she really is ickle. And it's like...
Yeah, Festa's mum is like microscopic.
Yeah.
She's tiny but fierce. I've just dropped my bloke on the floor. Right
yeah.
Yeah, so it was a picture of H stood next to, I won't say what, but it stood next to something that in real life is...
Very tiny.
very tiny. And she was tiny. I was like, again, tiny but fierce.
Yeah.
It's these Scottish women, they're just dangerous in small numbers.
Don't be lulled into a false sense of security, mate.
That's her secret weapon.
Yeah.
Do not let my size distract you. I will kill you. I will find you and I will kill you.
She's very tiny. Robert Eason says, hi to Natasha. Thanks for having me on your live this evening. Yes, I managed to tune in for a little bit of it before I had to go lay down for this stream. And yeah, it was nice to see the crew there on air doing their thing. So, yeah.
Oh, sniffle. I apologise for my sniffles.
It pretty much turned into, yeah, let's just pick on Marcus because it is the thing to do.
It is the right thing. Well, if James isn't there, then, you know, it's the right thing. If James is there, then obviously just pick on James because that's the biologically correct thing to do.
I have this ability to get Marcus to have an on-air wibble within minutes of being on or in a chat.
Yeah. Well, it's no different to somebody hassling you and getting you going on about shrinkflation within 10 minutes, is it?
Absolutely, because these things can happen.
Yeah, you know, just walk into a live stream when he's there and just talk about Toblerone for 5 minutes, he'll be off.
Yeah,
trust
but,
me.
You know, I've always got that ultimate comeback. Chassis.
I'm sorry, my earpiece failed then briefly for a moment. I'm sure you said something, but I have no idea what.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, so it's always good to mock Marcus, but I give him credit. He takes it on the chin. He's a good sport.
Well, with that beard, well...
Yeah. Yeah, he's a legend, is our Marcus.
Oh, yeah.
I got him going because I said he should have been elected Pope during the week. Could you imagine how many F words would have been in the Pontiff's first speech? It's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pope Marcus. Pope Marcus got my vote.
Benedict for some of the Protestants deals. Beep!
Yeah.
Can you imagine being elected Pope and you couldn't speak Italian or Latin?
Yeah, that would be pretty
knackered,
pointless, wouldn't it?
It's like if you become like part of the top echelons of that, then if you become like one of these cardinals, do you have to learn how to speak Italian and Latin?
Yeah, it's mandatory, isn't it?
I mean, Latin you could probably just read it. It's just in front of you, but you'd have to understand it. But I suppose learning Italian. I was watching Stephen Colbert and he was saying, now I have to apologise. I know the new Pope is American, but I'm sorry. Every time I do him on a stand-up, is it going to sound like a Mario? Because I'm the Pope. I'm an Italian, yes? He says, so yeah. He's still the Pope, he's still Italian. There you go. I'm the Pope.
Yeah.
It's a me, the Pope.
He's already been referred to as Pope Elon, isn't he? Because, yeah.
Pope Elon. I was saying to Festa, I had an article saying, the Pope is a gamer. And all it was, his brother said, oh, yeah, he plays Wordle. I'm like, oh, so he's a gamer.
Yeah, your dreams of Xbox Live hangouts with the Pope were shattered, weren't they, mate?
Imagine, like, you're sitting there and the Pope's like, boom, headshot.
Yeah.
You'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah, taking out an enemy from 300 metres with a sniper scope. It's like, yeah, good man, mate.
Yeah, he's a great Pope, but he's an absolutely nasty camper.
Yeah.
Sniper. I'm attaching this man's bottom to a horse. That seems like an uncomfortable state of affairs.
Really glad you clarified that because I didn't know where that conversation was going.
His bottom just fell off the horse. Yes.
Don't forget, folks, you can ask Fox anything you want.
Oh, yeah. I'll answer it. Even stuff I don't know, I'll just make up an answer anyway.
Also, we are back Monday for the E-Models Monday show.
Yes.
So if you want to pop over to the E-Models channel at 9 p.m. Monday, we will be gracing your screens for the return of E-Models Monday, folks. Be afraid.
The return.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
You will be. You will be.
So we'll be back doing that. So it's going to be once a month. We'll be doing this show, so keep an eye out for it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's been a while since we've done one, and it's just, yeah, we're all gradually getting back to, I would say, normality, but
no, we don't do normal.
But yeah, so
that would be false advertising, I think. Where's his body part for this gentleman?
Natasha says, my question is, could he shut up for 5 minutes? Joking, you know my humour, Festa. Oh, bless you. Space Rangers is in, saying hello to everyone. Hello, Space Rangers,
Yeah,
as
hey,
is
Space
the
Rangers.
Bobbins. Bobbins says, good morning from an hotel room in Thailand. How you doing, Bobbins? We have international Bobbins.
Internazionale.
Yeah.
Johnny Foreigner.
PJ says, hi, Bobbins, stop it. Put it away. You know what I mean? Yeah.
To answer the question, yes, you can get me to shut up if you do a super chat asking me to shut up.
Yeah.
It's £1 for every minute that I stay quiet, or I stay
Natasha
quiet for a
says,
minute.
yeah, the amount of F words used. Yeah, I got him going, Natasha. Didn't take long, love, did it?
Oh, you mean Max, not me? Oh, right.
Marcus. Yeah.
Marcus, even. I thought you were talking about me. Sorry.
Yeah, no. No, it's not all about you, dear.
Well, usually when people are saying get him to shut up, they're talking about me, so.
Yeah.
Number 10, I did number 10.
James
Where's
says,
number
yeah,
10?
definitely be watching the models Monday. Yeah, it's like I say, we all caught up a little while ago, and it was muted about getting back to it. And we're all, we've all had stuff going on, unfortunately, in real life. And it was a decision that wasn't made lightly coming off air at the time, but it was the right thing to do. So,
We put it to a conclave.
yeah, that and all. Right, so we've got a bit of that going on over there.
Jeff Candyman from Mongo, our very own Carl Sagan, has been a member for 47 months.
I know, I saw a bit of SpongeBob pop up.
Yeah.
Thank you very kindly for your continued support, Jeff. It really does mean a lot, mate.
We'll be saying hello to each other. Natasha says, oh, that was funny, Festa, he wobbled.
I know, it's one of those. You know me, Natasha, if I can get Marcus to have a wibble, my day is complete. And he's a good sport.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, Toblerone. Big Macs are really small lately, aren't they?
Yeah,
Fancy
they
a
are,
wagon
mate.
wheel. Fancy a wagon wheel.
I know what you're trying to do.
All the empty space in that packet of crisps. He's thinking. He's like...
No, I'm trying to actually concentrate. Because I've got the world's smallest part in the end, and it's like, yeah. And yeah, I was trying to avoid doing what I've literally just done, which is a twitch, but that's all right.
It's James's fault for distracting you.
Yeah.
Come on, James. Leave the man in peace. He's trying to work. Been Sophie says, I bought a pair of shoes from a drug dealer this morning. I don't know what he laced them with, but I was tripping all day.
So he did. We saw what you
Here all
did.
week. Try the fish.
That's one for
What
the
the hell?
chat. Best dad jokes. Come on.
Natasha says, what the hell is super stickers? It's like a super chat, but it's like a little animated thing instead of typing in chat a message. It has like a little animated thing. It just pops up in chat. You pay a little bit of money and you get an animated thing in chat.
Yeah.
Super stickers. Oops.
Needs a drill. Yeah, you can do it on videos and that now, can't you? On channels and
Yeah, I demonstrate, but I'm streaming.
it's just another way of getting a bit of revenue in.
Yeah, it's just an alternative to typing in a message in a super chat. You do a super sticker instead. It's animated emoji. PJ says, question for Fox. If the Drake equation is correct and there's indeed intelligent life somewhere else in the galaxy, do you think those beings build Warhammer 2? If they are intelligent, then yes. Absolutely. Might be their own version of Warhammer. You know, if reincarnation is real, I really hope it's limited to this world, because I don't want to come back to a world where there's no Warhammer or Xbox, or video games, because that would be terrible.
I swear blind you're going to be buried with a Warhammer kit.
Yeah, bury me at Forge World. Hey, that's the point. I wonder what's going to happen to the Forge World store now that Forge World stuff is dying a death.
Yeah, I know. Scary thought, isn't it?
I went on there the other day, and the Macarius tanks, like the Macarius Vanquisher and stuff, they're not on there anymore. It's like,
no, it's all coming off, isn't it?
Wonder if they're going to come out in plastic at some point, or if they're just retired. It's like, I think it's their best tank design of all the tanks they do, but they were only ever Forge World. So it's like, oh, there'll be no more walking into that store with all these shelves full of mysterious white boxes giving you the fizz.
Oh no, it's scary, isn't it?
Where am I going to get my white box fizz from now?
Keep one. That's what I did.
I've got a shelf of them. I might just never have to build them.
I thought you built them all.
No, I've cleaned them all. I've got loads of them to build. I spent a while cleaning all the bits.
Yeah, I thought you said you built them all. Oh well.
No, I've got loads. Not loads, but I've got a few. I've got I've got me orc, that little super tank, super grot thing.
Yeah.
Super tank, the battleship. I've got me kill burster tank, me orc one.
Modeler Phil is in, says, hi all, enjoying painting up these Krieg troops. Oh, nice one.
Doing Krieg like me? Good lad.
Yeah.
Which one's you painting, buddy? Yeah, I hope they actually make the Macarius tank in plastic, because it's such an awesome kit. Such an awesome tank design. It'd be a shame to never have them back. I think they probably will, but maybe. I hope. Because they go really well with Krieg. It's a perfect kind of Krieg vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
It's so World War One-ish.
Krieg always works, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's good that they saw sense and realised that putting Krieg in plastic would be a good idea. Gentleman's little torso.
See what you did there.
Little torso.
Oh, the torso. So many torsos.
So many. I've got to clean his helmet, haven't I? Oh dear.
You polishing his helmet, Fox?
Yeah, I've got to get it all nice and smooth. Take the roughness out of his helmet.
Yeah, that going up.
There's some terrible mould lines on these.
What have we got? Sophie says, I saw a piece of toast at the zoo today. The zookeeper said it had been bred in captivity.
Dad jokes for the win.
Natasha says, can the stickers be included to keep Fox quiet? Laugh out loud. Yeah, I don't mind. Poor Fox. And they're off.
I don't mind. And they're off.
Right, we got that going on in there. That's going on over there. Right.
Do £100 super chat and I'll go quiet and do black and white, just because I can be like an old silent movie then. Don't do that.
PJ Lewis, £12.34 super chat. Read carefully, Cole. Doing this to shut the fox up.
Nope. Okay, let me get me timer.
Thank you very, very kindly, PJ.
It's all right, I can clean my helmet in peace now.
But also thank you for your generosity as well, PJ, in all seriousness, mate, because, I know this is all a gag at Fox's expense, but I also appreciate out there that, at the end of the day, money's tight for everyone, so I really do appreciate every penny I get because, we've all got bills to pay, and I thank you very, very kindly.
12 minutes 34.
And, it is really appreciated. It helps me no end, mate. So that's that. But I would have said me and Fox have got Warhammer projects to do and but he can't answer me for 12 minutes 34 seconds, so I can sit here now going chassis I can sit here and go, Warhammer isn't the greatest models in the world. They are built by man-child. You know, so I can do all of that. Athena says, I bought a toilet brush earlier. I don't think I'm going to go back to paper. So we did there earlier. The first squad of 10 says model of Phil. Just another 70 to go. Yes, mate. I've got a bit of a Krieg project that I'm going to be doing at some point in the future. And yeah, it's going to be one of those where hindsight is going to come into it and say, Wilkinson, why the hell did you think that was going to be a good idea? I just know it. But yeah, Space Rangers is laughing. Yeah, this is our how to keep Fox quiet thing now, see? But yes. So it all helps. But hopefully, like I say, I mean, this little truck here seems to be going together quite well, so fingers crossed I can have something else on the bench. I've got I would say the Metro 6R4, but I'm filming that because, yeah, it's one of them builds where I might be, PJ's going to be welling up now. I might be doing a bit of shopping at Hero Boy to get braided hoses and things of that ilk. So, yeah. So I might be doing a little bit extra on the 6R4 just to do something different. It's been a while since I've done a car like that. So, and it's one of them. They are, for me, quite an iconic looking rally car, a bit like the Lancia Stratos. They've just got that appeal to them. So, yeah, the 6R4 is going to be getting a bit of detail up on it. Because why not? And I've got my paint set over there for it. So, yeah. So that's going to be coming out. But like I say, I've been filming it. I don't know whether people really want to see me chopping a car up on a live stream, so to speak, because it isn't quiet, put it that way. And, yeah. Copious amounts of sanding and things like that. But yeah, I'll have a looky-loo through the stash and see if there's anything else I can bring out in the coming weeks to look at starting. I might put a little poll up or something like that in the group and go, look, here's 3 different kits. A car, a bike, a tank. Which one do you want me to start next on a live stream? And bring in a little bit more of involvement and see what you all think, because why not? Because it is your show. It's not my show. It's not Fox's show. This is your show, folks. It's... Max says, today I learned that in order to open a zoo, you must have at least 4 pandas, 2 grizzlies, 3 black, 4 brown, and 1 polar. Apparently, it's the bare minimum. Sophie says, I had to take my lizard back to the pet shop yesterday as it was telling dad jokes. The shop assistant said, that's not a lizard, it's a stand-up chameleon. See, I love these sort of jokes, I must admit. Dad jokes are, yeah. It's when you hear a room full of people groan when someone tells a joke. I love that because they've got that awkward moment then of wondering what to do with themselves as they're hastily looking for a reason to exit. And it's like, yeah, I love that. You know, we've all got that mate, haven't we, that got this really great joke and they tell it, and there's 5 faces staring back at them that are uber silent. There's tumbleweed and crickets going, and they're tiptoeing to the tulips, so to speak, looking at their exit strategy. It's like, yeah, I love that. It's like, yeah, getting in. Space Rangers is laughing out loud at Max. I can imagine Max is looking around at Carol and Larry going, yeah, come on, you can laugh now, you two. And they're like, there's no way that boy came from our loins. Let's get rid of that seam down the side of that old radiator there. But yeah, it'd be be interesting to see what I can do on the stage. I've got my Tiger 1 sat just out of shot on the left, the Ryefield one. And I've been putting that together and doing some work on that. So I could actually drag that out and do a bit of work on the stream on that as well. Because, yeah, that's that sort of doing all the bullet stage. I'm getting that all done and putting a bit of the interior in. So I can do a bit of that. But, yeah, it's just nice to make a start. So I'll tell you what, I could do something radically different as well. Just had a thought.
Nope.
Yeah. So, yeah, I haven't done one of them on the stream before, so, yeah. But it's one of those I've wanted to film it, so, yeah. It's ums and ahs. Let me think about that one. Scout Model muses in, he says, distracting everyone in the hope that no one notices that I'm now typing and doing my duty, because if I don't, I am going to be beaten within an inch of me life. She'll tell H, they'll both disown me. It's going to end badly for Festa. So, yeah. So I'm just making sure I perform my duty admirably. Just looking for the right emoji to load because, yeah, it's taking a while. It's taking a while. But, yeah, big hellos to Marcy. Hope you're keeping well, love. There you go. No one will ever know that that's what I was doing because it was, yeah. Bobbin says, will be nice to see the big Sherman again. Yes, mate, that's an E-Models build, so that'll be popping up on the E-Models Monday show, folks. So, yes. Two Ronnie's full candles cracks me up every time. It's just one of them bits of comedy that is epic, isn't it, Sophie? Marcy's also giving some hugs to Fox as well. Yeah, he's on his enforced quiet mode at the moment because PJ put a super chat in. So Fox is having to be quiet at the moment. And I know deep down it's really hurting him because I keep saying chassis. So, yeah. Happy days. And the Mustang. Yes, the Eleanor Mustang is looking rather massive. Let's see whether I can get you a shot of Eleanor up there. Bear with me as we go. And there is Eleanor, folks, looking rather big up on that shelf there, as you can see. So let's just turn that so that I can pan around the corner. There you go. There's Eleanor sitting up there. Rather massive. And then just below it is the Batmobile. Oh. I know, it's scary. And then just on the bench there is Robocop. So, yeah. So, yeah, the big old Mustang. And that's not the biggest Mustang. The biggest Mustang is next door in the cabinet in there because the shelf on in the man cave is just too small to fit it on. It's a 1/6 scale and it is massive. So, yeah, so that's next door now in its home. And then I've got the Ford Falcon that is just over there. So I've got 4 episodes of that to film this week, so I should be doing that. But, yeah, I've got my digger as well next to me that I started a while back. I've not done no work on that for a while either. That over and remind you of that build. I was doing this on the Frolic, wasn't I? So I might do a bit of work on that next week and do a bit of painting, a bit of graffiti on the brickwork. So got that one to finish. That's sat on the bed of my 3D printer at the moment. What else is there? Oh yeah, been doing me Roman. I'm painting him. He's headless at the moment because I'm doing 5 o'clock shadow on his head, but that's the Roman at the moment. doing his thing with his hand-painted wooden base that Fox does seem to like. I've got wood in my hand, Fox. See what I did? And then I started to assemble the samurai as well, so I've started him. This is currently at the de-seaming stage, and many hours have been spent sanding and recutting all of these undulations in the trousers, because there was like 6 pieces putting them trousers together. So yes, I've been de-seaming all of that, as well as his torso and swords and that. So yeah, and again, I'm having to recut all the grooves and everything in the fabric because there's like multiple seams. As you can see going around, there's a seam still there to get rid of. So it's just a matter of gently carving, scraping away the seam and then building it back up. We then got Roman head. You've got to pick that off because he's sat Q-tip at the moment. So we got the Roman head there. I've got to do his 5 o'clock shadow and his cropped hair yet. Even though he's going to have his helmet on, it's still the fact that I know underneath there is, his barnet. So yeah, fair bit to do. So I'll have a think during the week and see what we can pop on the bench next week. That's if we get the truck done, of course. But again, I like to try and rotate the builds because I get bored quite easily. If something's been on the bench a while, I get a bit conscious that it might be boring the audience as well. So these are all just getting built up, ready for primer, and then I shall come back and have a big old spray session at the bench where the spray booth will come out and be set up for a week or so at the bench.
There we go. Done.
Done. Thank you very much, PJ. Massively appreciated.
PJ.
So, there's quite a bit model-wise that I can pick and choose from. So I might try and finish some of the other builds I've got on the go before I do anything new, to be honest with you, yeah.
Can I just say that Roman is looking absolutely fantastic.
Well, as you know, there's a lot of work gone into that bad boy.
Yeah. People think I take a long time to build a dude. You ain't seen nothing till you've seen Festa painting that thing for the last 6 weeks. Oh.
You was quite surprised how many different layers just went into the skin, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah. How many layers? All of the layers.
All of them.
Very impressive. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's coming together.
I've said it before, and I've said it to you off air as well. It looks to me like one of the figures in one of my How to Paint Models 70 books from the 80s, where they have these beautiful oil-painted figures. It's like...
I think it was Jeff at Candygram, a Mongo, that once said, "What do you do in your spare time?" And I said, "Figure paint." And it was like, "Oh, could you film some? Could you film some? Could you film some?" Which is what I'm doing. This has been filmed. Marcy has put in a $10 super chat. Says, "Shush, Fox, laugh out loud."
10 minutes then.
I've got a couple of figures on the bench here, 3D prints that I did a while ago, and I've started them. So we got the Elf Archer that I'm going to be painting up and doing multiple layers on her. And then also I've got anyone who knows the Shield Maiden Lagertha from the TV show Vikings. I've got her to do. She's all magnetised so that I can disassemble her ready for paint. Just makes my life a bit easier. Then obviously she's got a big shield that sits behind her head with all the straps and that. So I've got to be filming them. The reason they're on the bench like this is so that I can just sit and look at them and let them talk to me. Because like anything, you sort of look at the figures and you want to do them justice. I might do another Lagertha because I'm debating at the moment whether to have her with or without face paint. I don't know whether to have with her battle face on or just natural skin tone. So, yeah, so I might just get another one and do one of each. So yeah, there's 2 options. But, yeah, I'm getting back into filming me figures because it's been a while. And I did say to patrons and members that I would film them. So that's what I'm going to do. The Roman has been filmed all the way through as well. So I've got that to edit down into a couple of videos. So, yeah. Video editing is slowly coming along nicely now. So we're getting back into that. So thanks to everyone that has borne with me whilst my content has been a little bit slack. But we are resuming normal service. So, yeah, we should start getting a lot more stuff going up now. So we'll release everything to patrons and members so you get to see it all firsthand. And then I'll do general release then across the channel. Yeah, got car videos, bike videos, tank videos, obviously the figure painting stuff. So. Surprising the videos I've found in the archives that I didn't realise that I hadn't got round to editing, and it's been quite an eye opener. I've got the Larry Young build as well, the big CBR that I built and sent to Larry, Max's dad. I've got that to voice over. All the E-Models mini art diorama, I've edited it all down now into like the mini art truck build, then all the figures, painting them all, and the diorama. So I just got to sit and voice that all over, and that will go up on the E-Models channel for those guys. So yeah, quite a busy, little busy period of trying to update everything and bring some content to you all, because you know you all go out of your way to support me. I really do appreciate it, and you've been there through good and bad times for me. And yeah, it's just nice to give something back. So thanks for bearing with me and all of that. Yeah, quite a bit to do for Foxx. Having to be quiet is quite sweet. But again, big credit to Foxx for being a good sport. I have to say that because when we come off air to tears, he's inconsolable, folks. He really is. You hear him in the background going, but Mum, PJ did it, and then Marcy did it as well, and I couldn't talk to my fans, Mum. That's what he does, honestly. And it's proper sort of snot sniffing crying. You know that crying that a 7-year-old does, and they could you see up my nose? All of that. He knew that. I nearly broke him then. He knew that was coming. Space Rangers is popped off. Catch a go. He says, got to go back to work. Take care. Thanks very much for coming in and regaling us with your company. Always lovely to see you. Nearly broke him there, but yeah. Yeah, he knows. He knows. Yeah. I was in the canal once. That's where I got the nickname Bob. Bob, 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 Bob. I am so going to hell. H often says, you are devoid of all emotion. You are an emotionless husk. But you're my emotionless husk, she goes. But it was funny. She took me out in public last Sunday on the lecture. Marcy would have been proud. The lecture I got on the way up was, yeah, legendary. All the things I could not do, could not say. Behaviours that were acceptable and unacceptable. I had the full arms folded, eyebrows raised look that women do at their disobedient husbands. Yeah, any women out there will know that look exactly, and will all the blokes. Jeff's now looking at Maggie going, what love? Yeah. Yeah. We all get that look. And yet, suffice to say, yeah, I was warned under any circumstances, yeah, not to let my inner loud voice, yeah. It did come out to play once, I must admit. And yeah, I'm like, no way is she going to hear that. Suffice to say, I looked 10 foot away and I got the sternest of stern looks. I'm like, damn, ears like an S-house rat. She's like, really? I went, what? You didn't hear that? And then she just ambled over very slowly, purposefully. I whispered in my ear, word for word, what I had uttered. I'm like, I've got to ask, how do you women do this? How do you do it? She can stand there, she could listen to 5 separate conversations going on around her, knowing anything and everything as to the stage of each conversation. I mutter something that I shouldn't. She stops dead and goes, I heard that. Me being me, I go, yeah, right. What did I say? Yeah. And then she then proceeds to continue with the conversations she's listening to. I don't know how she does it. It's witchcraft, I'm telling you. Marcy's probably just thinking, yeah, but if it puts you in your place, Festa. She knows me too well, Muse. She really does. And see H is developing quite a fan club now because people are going, yeah, good for H, good for her, good for her. Goes that way, Carl. Burke. Get that one in there. Yeah, try not to switch, Carl, and you'll get a radiator in, mate. Perhaps you won't. We'll come back to that. Marcy says it's a skill, Carl. James says, PJ, what you want to re-correct it to is Fox has a fan. Does that mean that's his only? Yeah, okay, I'll grab my coat. PJ says, Fox just dropped his purse. That'll wake the moths up. Yeah. He once got a £5 note out of his wallet, but the Queen was wearing a pair of Ray-Bans. He dropped a £1 coin once. It cut the back of his head as it fell to the floor. That'll be why, Cole. It's because you haven't put the cross member on the chassis. Dun, dun, dun. Back to the chassis, back to the chassis. Fox's chassis. The world is full of chassis. Oh, the chassis. So many chassis. It's a chassis. There's a bit that goes across the front somewhere, and I've missed it off. There it is. Oh, how could you miss that off, you complete and utter Spaniana? Yeah, it's the world's smallest bit, though. I will add that. I'll get that in whilst he's off air.
There we go. I'm back.
Because he won't mock me then.
I don't mock you.
Yeah, lousy timing that, but yeah, it's the world's smallest chassis component, you know. Yeah. Bill says that's why I'm single. I can't run away from the scorned woman anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly, I get that look, and it's like it's the arms folded, and they look at you, and the eyebrows just go up, and it's like
you know you're in trouble.
Yeah. I know the minute them eyebrows are, I am in the doghouse. Honestly, the eyes are hitting me like a laser beam. It's like that bloke out of the X-Men. You know, the one with the laser vision thing going on?
See, as men, we've developed this super keen hearing sense. We can hear the eyebrows rising.
Yeah, you hear that?
It's amazing how it sounds like a violin.
Yeah.
Anybody building these Horsey Creek dudes, when you have the bit where you have to glue the guy's arm to the rein, you'll have to use super glue because they don't quite fit together easily.
But I hear the music from the good, bad, and the ugly. Wow, wow, wow. And then I look and it's down, 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 down.
Whereas I just get the Gundam music.
Yeah, it's just like. So, yeah. So in the doghouse, it's like.
Yeah, you are.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
No, because at least, you know, it means you're in a doghouse. There's a doghouse for you to be in.
Yeah.
Right, I need C66.
Yeah.
The only downside with doing the quiet mode is that I think of all these things I want to say while I'm being quiet. When I come back, I've forgotten them all.
Which is why people do it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And I need C67.
But thank you very kindly. It really does mean a lot.
67. I'm giving all these dudes pointy sticks because why not?
There you go.
Pointy stick of pointiness. There it is.
All
Right,
the
we found it
sticks
quickly.
of all the pointedness. There you go. See the radiator
Louder
then.
too.
And have something to sit on, Carl. Look at that. That's what makes a difference, mate.
Did you do your 2-minute silence on Thursday?
Yes. Oh, yes.
I did. I just happened to be up at the time, so I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
2-minute silence." There you
You had to ask.
go. Yes.
I did my duty, dear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone wouldn't. You know what I mean? It's
Oh yeah, I was only asking as a conversation point, really.
yeah, it's one of them, innit? But it's funny. Someone pointed out that the next big anniversary is the 90th. No one's going to be around, are they? Brings it home, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's unlikely to be anyone, really.
And that's the sad part of it.
Yep.
We thank them all for their service.
Oh God, yeah. Doesn't take a lot of effort just to,
No, anyone that has
quiet for a
served
couple
in
of
the
minutes.
military, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
It's not said, I don't think, often enough to them.
No.
So any of you out there watching that are of a military background, we do sincerely thank you for your service, because
Whether you've been, in action of any kind or not, it doesn't matter, because you take on that job with the knowledge that you may have to sacrifice.
exactly whether you've been in theatre or not, everyone that serves their countries deserves to be thanked, because every role is as important. Doesn't have to be frontline.
Mm-hmm.
All the roles are equally as important, because the front line don't function without the people behind the scenes in logistics supplying them with what they need. So every job's important.
And as some would say, the most important people in any army is the catering corps.
Yes.
That's usually the catering corps tell you that. But it's true.
It's true.
Army marches on its stomach. You take the food away and give them only rations. I've experienced British Army rations. Yeah, you're not marching on that much. They really are last resort. They're all right, but they're not great.
Bill says my service was getting drunk on duty-free beer in German beer house for the most part. No thanks needed, exactly. But Sophie puts a really good way of wording it. They sacrificed their tomorrow for our today. What a way of putting it. A lovely, lovely way of putting it. We used to get a lot of American servicemen because of Greenham Common.
Mm.
The Newbury military base where the peace camp was. They used to say the thing that fascinated them about the British and their rations was first thing that was at the top of their ration pack, tea bags.
Oh, yeah, tea bags. Yeah, because
So
the Americans,
essentially British.
the Americans was chocolate and cigarettes and gum, and we were like, tea bags.
Tea bags. So the fact that they have somewhere specifically on the tank to put the kettle on, it's like...
Oh, yeah.
He said it's quite sweet. He said that's just how the British are.
It is a British thing. Yeah, there's quite a lot of little poignant sort of prose and poems and things that relate to military service. I think one of my favourites is from, I think it relates to, I can't specifically, I think it's specifically related to the Battle of the Bulge and not D-Day, but it was something simple like, and when he gets to heaven, to St. Peter he will tell, one more soldier reporting, sir, I've served my time in hell.
Yeah.
I quite like that.
It's always a very poignant time. It's like Remembrance Sunday, you know, and it's, yeah.
Yep. DB.
I can remember at Go when I worked there, it was my last job before I took my medical retirement. There was many a young whippersnapper that felt the rage of Festa's hand clip them around their ear roll when they weren't giving their silence.
Oh, yeah.
That shows some goddamn respect.
Yeah, you're here because of these people, so shut up.
Yeah, no, it was before my time. Really. Yeah, they would learn the error of their ways.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's because of that that you've got your time. You ignorant little moron.
So yeah, that's nothing to show respect.
No.
When I used to be out and about, you used to see the poppy guys selling the Hague Fund poppies, and I used to always say, "Yeah, I'll sit next to you, pops. Come on, tell me what you got up to." You don't want to hear my old war stories. I go, yeah, I do. Come on.
Yeah, we do. Trust me.
And you would just see that little bit of nice
gratitude.
Yeah, gratitude, because they had someone that they could just relive their moments with. And then you'd get that tear as you put that folded tenner in their top pocket and go, yeah, that one's for you, mate.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, because a lot of them, you know, a lot of the veterans over the years, obviously, many of them never talked about it because they didn't want to, but a lot of them just had no one to tell, you know.
Yeah.
Especially some of the old guys living by themselves, living alone. There's never anyone that can tell.
I just always got a buzz out of seeing them, their eyes light up when someone was just, come on, tell me all about it. What you got? Yeah, tell me. And they would start telling you. And of course, then you start asking them questions about things.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I had my boys with me at the time, you know, they was in their late teens, and I went, at your age, this fella was, you know, fighting in the war, you know, and they would then ask him stuff, and he'd go, it's unusual for young'uns showing interest, and then like, it just doesn't compute that you was the same age as us and you're in the middle of nowhere getting shot at. It's like,
It's the thing, isn't it? If you think about it logically, you know, if you'd been through that yourself, assuming you weren't the kind of person that just shut it all away and never talked about it, you'd want to tell the whole world because you've been through this incredible experience. And nobody cared, really, when you got back home. So when people do say, tell me what happened.
Exactly, you know. And
it's a form of
validation. I mean, like I say, the last time I was out and about, he wasn't there. It was someone else, and I thought, so I went over and said the fella that, he died a few months ago, and it's like, oh, what a shame.
Yeah, because it's like, you get to see, there's always the same guys, isn't it, outside the same stores and
it
things.
was, I'm sorry, the person that's taken over was in the Falklands.
Oh, yeah.
So then I got to sort of chat about that and was like, I can remember I was just leaving school when the Falklands War hit.
I was at secondary school.
And, you know, started talking about that. I said, only if you want to, because not everyone wants to talk about their service because they might have a bit of PTSD going on or something of that nature. You know, so if you want to talk about it, I'll sit and just listen because I'm genuinely interested. And again, you know, there's just regaling me with stuff and just general chitter-chatter, you know, and it's...
I remember watching an interview with an old guy, I can't remember his name, but he was one of the few remaining World War I veterans.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it was just before he died, I think. It was quite a few years ago. And he was this lovely old guy, and he's telling these stories. He's saying what's gone on. And he was in Ypres, and he was in the Somme and things like that.
Yeah.
And there was just one moment at the end of it where the interviewer says to him, you know, is there any message that you want to give to today's, you know, generations?
Mm-hmm.
And the dignity in this guy and the compassion in this guy, he just said, you know, we all went through terrors. We all went through a really bad time. He said, but spare a thought for the Germans because they lost people too.
Absolutely.
And this was a British soldier in World War One who was, fighting these guys, and yet he's got such dignity and compassion. He's like, think about them as well because they lost people as well. It's
the enemy all had loved ones as well.
Yeah, and it's like you just wouldn't get that now. You just wouldn't get people saying, there was bad things happening, but at the same time, they're just humans like us.
Yeah.
And that was quite moving.
It was just when you sit there and think all those lives that were lost.
Yeah, for nothing.
It just, when they, I watch a lot of the stuff on the history channels and things because, it is a fascinating subject, isn't it? And, I had grandparents that, had served and done their duty, so to speak. So, you heard firsthand their experiences, and it is one of those. It just brings it home to you, especially when they're talking about the mass casualties and lives lost. It just, those not in the UK, they might have seen it, but we had a show over here called The Blackadder. And they did one which was Blackadder Goes Forth, and it was World War One. Yeah. And it was the end scene of the show because they had stopped making it. And they went over the top, and it just transitioned from that moment into the modern day poppy field. And it was so poignant, and it's gone down in the UK as one of the most influential pieces of television. Yeah, because of that. And it was so cleverly, but also so respectfully done. And,
Well, the amazing thing with that specific clip where they go over the top, if you've never seen, I'm sure most people have, but if you haven't seen it, basically all the characters you've come to know, they go over the top, and in slow motion, they just run towards the camera a few yards, and then it fades to the poppy field. But when they filmed it, it was actually a mistake.
Yes.
Because they filmed it, and they ran like 3 feet and stopped, and they said, "This looks terrible.
Yeah.
We've ruined the whole thing." And then at the very last minute, somebody said, "Slow it down. Play it at like a quarter of the speed." And it was like, clicked, and they went, "Yeah, we can use that." Because he said the shot itself was terrible. They went, "Ah!" And that was it. And he said, "We've ruined the whole thing." And he said, "No, just play it slow."
Yeah.
And it became one of the most powerful scenes in British television. Considering it was a satire and a comedy series, it's... one thing we Brits do very well is dark black comedy, I think.
Yeah.
Tragic comedy is something we're really good at.
It just got people talking about it, didn't it?
Yeah.
It kind of, not sounded crass, but it reinvigorated the interest in that particular war because
it started
obviously with the amount of time that had elapsed, it was beginning to become that forgotten war, wasn't it? People suddenly wanted to know why that scene was done that way, and the younger generation were presented with, information on the First World War, which is probably what they wouldn't have had. So,
did you ever watch the? It came out a couple of years ago on the 100th anniversary. Well, that'll be 10 years ago. It was the Peter Jackson took all the World War One footage and colorized it and updated it to 4K and made it all 60 frames a second and stuff.
Yeah,
and it would basically turned it from shonky old black and white footage to actual real footage that was real people, and they added sound to it.
Yeah.
What was it called now? I can't remember what it was called.
Wasn't that World War One in colour TV show, was it?
No, it was a one-off, like, hour-long thing they did. It was the same kind of thing, but he put it through the whole WETA workshop process. And it was amazing, because for some of it, they actually got lip readers to figure out what people were saying. And sort of respectfully dubbed over, roughly. So it was hidden in the background of all the noise and stuff. And it was like, wow. It just brought it home because, you look at old war footage, same in World War II, and it's black and white, and it's grainy, and it's 2 times the speed, and you think, but when you watch it back in colour,
people don't always relate to it because of that.
But when they put it in a normal format and like we identify today, and it looks like people from today, and you think, it's amazing.
Marcy's off. She says, time to make food later on. Take care, Marcy.
Take care, Marcy.
Thanks for coming in and keeping us company, and also thank you for your generosity.
Yes. Festa's always grateful when you shut me up. Yes, anybody making this horsey where he's grabbing the reins, you have to attach that rein to that hand. They don't line up, they're like that. So you'll want to use super glue to just stick the rein in place because it's a bit flexible and it won't. Normal glue, you'll be sat there for 20 minutes holding it. So a bit of super glue on that. If you're making this one yourself, just for that specific rein. I've not done a brilliant job, but it'll do.
I'm sure it'll be perfectly done.
Yeah, I've not quite lined it up, but it's not the end of the world. I can fettle it.
Deep down, I know that you love the buildy, honest.
I do actually enjoy buildy when it goes well. I was watching a Duncan video today on his channel, and he was building a Horus Heresy Rhino. And it's one of the GW, more recent GW kits, I think.
Oh, yeah, not the, the one we all love, yeah.
Yeah, and he was turning it into like a Chaos, Death Guard style, Nurgle style. Anyway, the amazing thing was, right, he did something that you would have never seen him do on an official GW video. He says, right, I'm halfway through the build, and here's a handy tip if you're making this kit. The floor panel doesn't fit. Yeah. You have to file this bit off to make it fit properly. So this is how I've done it. So if you're building this kit, you'll have to do this because it's too big. It's made too big to go in the hole.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, you wouldn't have heard him saying that in Games Workshop days.
God, no, that would have not been appreciated.
And I looked at it and thought, good God, that's a modern GW kit, and it's got a piece that just totally doesn't fit. That's terrible. That was obviously a Friday afternoon build.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you think, how could they? But
sometimes, you think that was the intern that did that, wasn't it?
They don't all fit as perfectly as they would like to make it.
Yeah.
Orc Stomper springs to mind.
Well, yeah, that's old though, isn't it? But still, you think they could have updated that by now? I've just lost that piece completely. Where did it? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, but how many, I've sat and listened to you with your builds over the years, and it's like, how many Warhammer builds have you had to do where the easy line has to come out?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of that will just be my general incompetence. I can't deny that.
Well, I didn't want to say that. I was trying to be polite.
But some of it is strangely shonky GW nonsense, which is surprising.
Yeah.
It does seem to be more on some of their modern kits. Sometimes the design is a bit...
Yeah.
Just one or two components are like, not quite there, and it's like...
Yeah, you sit there and you think, okay, that's... Yeah.
Like a couple of the, the Space Marine vehicles that came out over the last few years, it's like, something's not quite right there. That'll be battle damage then, won't it?
Yeah. Some of the Baneblade fitment springs to mind as well.
Yeah. Oops.
Do like a Baneblade, though.
You can't go wrong with the Baneblade. If you go wrong with the Baneblade, you just can't go wrong with the Baneblade.
Just going on in the chat. Marcy was saying about her uncle was in Vietnam. He never talked about it. He just drunk himself, senseless, and abused me aunt. This is the thing. A lot of people come back from theatre, changed people,
broken, don't they?
Yeah. It's
the tragedy is it's only in the last 10 or 15 years they've kind of understood things like PTSD and how to support the veterans.
Yeah, I mean, one of my mates finished his military service, he'd done his time, etc. And he said the thing about it is, because I was talking about the fact how angry I get when I see homeless vets sleeping rough. I said, they're great at making lean, mean fighting machines. I said, but they're absolutely useless at returning you all back to civilian life.
Yep.
I said, they just let you go. There you go. You've done your time. There's the door. Bye. I said, and you suddenly come out of this very comrade-orientated environment of brotherhood into the real world, and it's changed beyond recognition. And
especially if they joined up in their teens or something, they won't have a clue what's going on.
Exactly, it throws them out. And, you know, Paul, my close friend, said that was the biggest adjustment he found, was readapting to civilian life, budgeting, home budgeting, and, you know, bills to pay each month and that. He said, because we're so used to pretty much getting your entire salary, unless you was in married quarters, of course. He said, but you pretty much didn't have to worry about any of that. He said, then suddenly you're fending for yourself. He said it took him quite a while to readapt to civilian life. It's funny, he heard a car backfire. We was out and about, this is back in the day when I was a lot more mobile, and a car drove past and backfired, and I looked and he was face down on the pavement right next to me.
Yep.
Because it was his instant reaction. It was just bang, down he went, you know, and I'm like, you're right, mate. Yeah, I feel a bit of a tit, he says, but yeah.
The thing is, it's just instinct, isn't it, at that point? It's natural instinct.
You know, but he couldn't believe how noisy Civvy Street was.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's just like somebody who's spent like most of their life in prison. Like in the Shawshank Redemption, when the old guy leaves prison after being in there for like 50 or 60 years, he doesn't know what's going on. He ends up committing suicide because he's like, I want to go back.
Yeah, Brooks.
Yeah, because he's so institutionalized. By the way, the Easy Line's coming out. Yeah, he can't cope with it because it's just completely alien to him. He doesn't understand it.
Yeah. Yeah, it must be quite daunting because, like you say, you've been used to all that time being in the service. And like you say, you're suddenly, I wouldn't say kicked out through the door, but I can't imagine there's that much preparation people get.
No, it's like leaving school or something. You know, you spend 14 years in school and suddenly you're not part of that world anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, there was that when we all left school. It's like you spent all that time looking forward to it, expecting that there was going to be a big brass band at the gates playing you out. And it's like, boring. It's just like a normal day. Yeah, what do I do now?
Except, you know, like a normal day, but everybody's drawing wheelies on my school shirt. And
pretty much the following day, I was trowel in hand on the building site, and it was, happy days. You know,
happy days.
I say literally trowel in hand. It was hod in hand because I was oddying for a couple of brickies, and it was a baptism of fire wake-up call. But, it's the best thing to do.
You start at the bottom, don't you?
My uncle said, you want to grow a pair and learn about life, get your backside on a building site for a year, son.
Yep.
They said that'll teach you how to respect people and how to, And he was right, it was.
Whereas I was totally different. I've been out of school for 6 weeks, and my mate said, I'm working in an office for the civil service. Do you want a job? I went, yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
So I went and started working there.
Yeah, I did oddy in, did a bit of chipping in. It was a general dog's body on the site for the first year. You know what it is. Called them to go for it, go for this, go for that, go for this.
Yep. Did you learn how to whistle tunelessly?
Yeah. And it's, oi, Oddy, get your backside up here with the bricks. Stop eyeing up the office skirt because,
Did they call you Bill? You see what I did there?
I did.
Yep, the Easy Line's come out, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I heard you the first time,
yeah, covering up the slightly shonky.
Yeah, in case anyone's not aware in the chat, the Easy Line has come out, so I did.
Yes. Well, my attachment wasn't the best.
Yeah.
So let's just assume there's a rope that goes with the reins.
Oh, the reins.
So many reins.
Are they law reins?
Oh,
no. Cope. That's the worst one I've done so far.
Yeah. Because when you say Lorraine, all I can think is that horrendous woman on ITV daytime television.
Oh, yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah, the aging Scottish lady that still thinks she's a 25-year-old pin-up.
Yeah, she put up I saw some tweet from the other day that somebody had retweeted saying, I'm going into hospital for such and such, and I'm thinking, does anybody actually care? Is nobody listening?
Who remembers Lorraine Chase back in the day? Like, oh, there,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, my missus' most hated TV personality is Lorraine Kelly.
Chase. Lorraine Kelly, yeah.
She's probably a very nice person, but yeah. My missus is just like...
Anybody on daytime TV is just like, ugh.
It's just like, don't put something else on. Let's go through the channels. And then it's, yeah, let's see what we've recorded.
Dad used to work on This Morning with Richard and Judy.
Oh,
For many years. Going back to when it was the Salford Keys docks and it had, like, you know, Fred on the map and everything like that.
It? Yeah.
Albert Dock, yeah, and they had, like, Fred Talbot on the map and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, oh, he's like,
yeah, we won't go there.
He was like, oh, God, Richard and Judy, Richard Madeley and Judy.
Wasn't he an ambassador for Tesco's?
Yeah, their wine department.
Allegedly.
He was their favourite customer. Yeah,
they were that nicey couple, weren't they? And it was a bit, yeah.
Dad was always like, oh, can I go and work outside on the map today? I don't want to be in the studio. He couldn't stand them. He really couldn't stand them.
Yeah, it was one of those, wasn't it? Yeah. We seem to get these personalities every now and then, don't we?
Yeah, it always seems to be the most vapid, talentless oiks that do daytime. But then again, it's because the most vapid people watch that rubbish anyway. So.
But then they get done to death, don't they? They're on everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, ugh, really? They all end up with their own unsuccessful late night chat show, don't they? It's like,
yeah. Or they get a show on Radio 4. Ugh.
Yeah. It's when you're going to realise that people don't really want to watch her.
No.
Hey-ho. When you see some of the drivel on TV now.
Oh, God.
That must sound like my granddad then.
The thing is, it's just like, it's this endless drivel of just phoning, vote for your favourite dross. ITV. I mean, I literally haven't watched anything from ITV in about 15 years because it's all just garbage. Aside from the very occasional drama they might do.
Beats my shrinkflation wibble this, folks, doesn't it?
It's just, it just depresses me more that people watch this. I have a friend who shall remain nameless, but I went round once. They had the telly on and it was full whack volume.
Yeah.
And they were watching some godforsaken dribble on a cable channel about, I don't know, some nonsense about a restaurant or something. And I don't think it was a Gordon Ramsay. It was just that kind of like,
celebrity chefs. Yeah.
No, it wasn't even that. It was just, I don't know, it was some... Let's follow the cameras around this restaurant and let's have all the, like, it's a real restaurant, real staff, and let's watch all the drama between the different... And then the next program came on, it was some celebrity nonsense phoning. I'm like, I can't be friends with these people anymore.
No.
Because we have nothing in common.
But the thing is, they have an audience, these shows, and I'm like, you know, yeah.
It's a damning...
Love Island, you know, programs like that. It's like, really? Geordie Shore, you know, you sit there and you're like, really? Because you see the adverts come on for these shows, and me and my missus just look at each other. We don't have to say a word. No. You just look at each other and you go, really?
It's like, I will just, like, audibly sag. And I don't know if I'm sagging because the television is garbage or because there's an audience for that television. And it's worse knowing that there is actually an audience for it. And you're like, oh, God, there's people that actually think this is good television.
Yeah. You know, I mean, naked and afraid. You know, who wants to see some bloke running around in the jungle with his giblets and brooch and earrings hanging out? I mean,
Can't say I know about that program. Oh, God.
Comes up on the advert. See it. Naked and afraid. It's on the Fire Stick channels.
Oh, I don't get those.
You know, and it's basically two people have dropped off in the jungle, stark. Yeah. And they basically have to try and do a bit of a Bear Grylls type thing. And it's like, yeah, it's really real life.
But of course, they're two young, attractive people and not like a fat middle-aged bloke with a paunch. And
basically, everything's pixelated anyway. So, yeah, but it's... Well, who comes up with a concept? Can you imagine the production meeting? Right, I've got this idea.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just because it makes them money and because people watch it, and that's the depressing thing. Is not that they make it, but that they have the reason to make it.
I mean, let's be honest. The human form, it doesn't look great naked, does it? I mean, you know,
not most time. It's 20 to 2, by the way.
Yeah, I know, mate. I've got a clock just in front of me, mate. But yeah, I'm fully aware, mate.
No, well, you asked me to remind you last week, so...
yeah. I should be off air at 2. Every week he says, how long are we going to for? 2 hours, Fox.
Well, you might want 1 week, you might want to do an hour and a half. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like to be sure.
But naked and afraid, yeah. So, really. Yeah. I worry as to what TV's going to be like in a decade, but hey-ho, not my problem.
No, I don't watch it now. That's the beauty of just watching things online. You just watch what you want to watch.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much with me, it's DVD box sets, and that's pretty much what I watch now. But
streaming services and that kind of thing.
It's all down to personal taste, don't get me wrong. We've all got different tastes. That's what TV's all about. But when you see some of the absolute crap that is on, you're like, really?
Yeah. If you like that sort of stuff, you know, everybody likes what they like, but if you like that sort of stuff, you're just wrong. Yeah,
you just sit there and you think, how is that entertainment? But each to their own, I suppose, isn't it?
And it's like, you know, Mama Wolf watches ITV3 because it's all the sort of oldie dramas and stuff for old people. And she quite happily watches that. But, you know, every time there's an advert break and it starts to do like a trail, and it's going to be advertising a series on ITV's main channel, you know it's going to be some drivel.
Do you know, the thing that shocks me, and I don't know whether this is something other people notice, but it's the amount of betting adverts on the telly.
Yeah.
And then they go, gamble aware. But you say, well, don't put bloody so many gambling adverts on.
Yeah.
Sophie says, I get bullied because I'm queer. I'm only human. Well, no one's got a right to bully you because of your orientation. You certainly won't get that in this live stream or my group because, I don't do any form of sexism, misogyny or anything like that or homophobia because I always say people are who they are. We get one crack at life. Be yourself and be happy with yourself. And as long as you accept yourself, everyone else can go F off. That's all you got to worry about. Don't ever worry in here, Sophie, and I'd be disappointed if anyone in my bubble were like that, you know, because,
you'd be disappointed and they wouldn't be in your bubble for very long.
No, as you well know, I've got quite a strict policy, and you was quite surprised once how speedily I wielded the beer hammer. The ban hammer, because I won't have it. It's just that simple.
I mean, I thought I was fast kicking people like that out, but you were like Usain Bolt, them gone.
Yeah. Because you was like, oh, I know,
I thought I was merciless.
Yeah. I said, 10 minutes ago, they put a post up, bump. I said, it's gone. I said, so are they. They won't be back.
It's not a second chance scenario. It's you blew it. You blew your trousers. See you.
Just won't have it. I don't think it's right. Who are we to judge? You know, it's like, nah, sorry. But anyway, I don't want to have a rant because,
No.
I would say never, ever be afraid to be yourself in here, Sophie. I'd be disappointed if you felt that you couldn't be yourself because certainly myself and Fox would be mortified if we ever projected anything along that.
Oh, God, absolutely.
That line because it's not us. So.
Definitely not me.
Well.
Yeah, not you, not me.
Not for me to say, dear.
No.
But, and you know my family situation, so...
Yeah, you don't have to worry about this, that. Us lot, and our little family here.
Really annoys me that there are people still like that out there.
It's pathetic.
It's 2025 for crying out loud.
Like, just let people do what they want to do and stop just telling other people how to live their lives, for the love of baby Jeebus.
Yeah, right.
Life and keep your nose out of others' business. Oh, I've got the sniffles. See, I'm going to finish one dude again tonight, aren't I? God darn it. It's not impressive.
One of my mates sent me a viral video link, and it was a far right extremist.
Ugh, that was a stupid thing to do.
Walking down the street with a certain symbol round his armband.
Oh dear.
And he's just trundling along with that swagger that they all have, and all of a sudden this young whippersnapper walks up, fist raised, bang, and plants him straight on his backside and carries on walking without a care in the world. It was like brilliant. And he was like, yeah, I thought that would be up your street. I said, that to me is the perfect form of karma.
Nice. I remember there was something similar when some like...
I'll send you the link later after the show. But,
I'll have a laugh at that. Yeah, there was some similar thing where some far-right person was being interviewed on a news programme. And so he just walked up and planted them and then walked off like live on the news broadcast.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah.
Yeah, I loved seeing it because it was just the way this guy, he was quite a large chap like myself. But he had that horrible, arrogant swagger that those sort of people have. And this lad who looks, like, if you had farted, he would have blown away. Just took him clean out, and it was, good for you.
If he's not expecting it, it just spong.
Yeah, and it's like, good for you, lad. So, the person out there is, I'd buy him a beer because,
Yeah, absolutely. The right thing to do.
I remember telling you, didn't I, that we went on an holiday with a friend and his missus back in the early days of our marriage, and this guy had been a mate for a few years, and you think you know people, and then on the beach he dropped his t-shirt off, and there on his chest, emblazoned for the world to see, was a Swazi, and I'm like, I just got up, left the beach, and we've never spoke since.
Yep. Sorry, mate. I'm not having any of that.
It's like,
The thing is, though, it's like, especially in video games, there is nothing more satisfying than punching nasties.
Yeah.
I say nasties to avoid any YouTube nonsense, but... You know
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So it's like, that's partially why I did play some of that Indiana Jones game, and it's got the Indiana Jones satisfying punch sound, but also you're punching nasties. It's like, so good.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why things like the Wolfenstein games are great, because you're just reaming on
they're
nasties
not
all the time.
glorifying that environment, are they?
No, you're just like punching nasties. It's great. Yeah. Nothing better. It's the right thing to do at all times.
Yeah. I mean, you can't cancel the symbology from history. It's like in the hobby. Sometimes people get pilloried for building a tank that's got the regalia on it, and it's like, look, it's
just stupid.
Yeah, it's it's history. They're not putting it foremost and centering the photo and all of that.
They're building something that existed.
Exactly. You can't completely cancel it out. They're not supporting the ideology. They're saying here is a World War II model of this built with this. But it's like anything. A lot of people feel uncomfortable putting the symbol on, and it's like, look, it was on that piece at the end of the day. And
I mean, in a way, it's good that people feel uncomfortable doing it because
absolutely.
But at the same time, it's nothing wrong with it if you're doing like a model or something.
I've got a General Lee conversion for a Dodge Charger, and I bought it a good few years back. And it's one of those. It's got the Confederate flag for the roof now. We all know, the controversy that surrounds it and all of that. I totally understand that. But it has put me off doing the build because there is going to be someone out there that is mortally offended. And it's like, look, it's a car from a TV show. This was on the vehicle at the time of the TV show, and I've recreated that vehicle. But you know it's going to be problematic, so I haven't built it.
Yep.
For that reason, and you sit there and you think, oh. But, you know, I am of a mind that I think that way, you know, and
yeah,
it's going to offend people. I'd rather not offend people, but
yeah.
You could say build it without it, but it was a unique part of that vehicle, of that TV show.
Yeah, you're building that specific car, aren't you?
You know, but again, I shall photograph it perhaps in a way where that symbol isn't prominent, you know, and perhaps do it that way, but
excuse me.
As long as it ain't front and foremost and glorified, but
yeah.
But you still have to think that way, don't you? Because we live in a society now where there's always going to be that mortally offended person. I am so offended. And it's like, it's not done to deliberately pee people off. It's a piece of plastic representing a TV show vehicle.
Yeah.
But it's like anything. I've always said, you know, I can't accept the blame for what happened hundreds of years ago in history. But I always say if it encourages people to have a healthy debate about the rights and wrongs of everything, then so be it. And I'm all for that.
It's like not explicitly,
yeah.
It's not explicitly glorifying the thing that you're
No,
modeling.
That's right. You're not glorifying anything to do with civil rights or anything like that. It's, you know, if people can talk about it and learn from it and why it was so wrong, I think that's a good thing, yeah.
There's a difference between someone making a World War II German tank with all the insignia on it, and then someone whose bedroom has got like the nasty flag in there and there's a uniform and they've got like a SS knife and all this other paraphernalia. Yeah, we all know somebody who's got that kind of bedroom and you're like, no.
We've all seen that.
Yeah, we all know someone in our lives who had at some point had that kind of bedroom. You're like, oh, no.
Yeah, we had one across the road when we first moved down here. They got moved out in the end. But they had a big flagpole in the garden.
Oh, dear Lord, really?
And I don't need to describe what was being flown. And yeah, once they had, how can we say, a couple of dry slaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old build turned up, the flagpole was removed, they got done, they got fined, and they kept doing it, and in the end, the council evicted them.
Did you see the story of the last few weeks about the guys that went into some pub to have a birthday party?
Oh, right.
With a cake and everything, and they said to the landlord, yeah, we'll use the back room, it's for a birthday party, we've got a cake. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no problem.
Oh, 2 secs, squishy alert, Edward Leonard is in. I just want to acknowledge Edward coming in.
Edward.
What's up? Hello, Festa Foxx and chatty people. I hope you're all right. Yeah, just wanted to see there and didn't want to ignore you. Carry on, dear.
Yeah, so they say, yeah, it's a birthday party, we've got a cake and stuff, and so, you know, like you go in the back room of a pub and you have your little birthday party.
Yeah.
Except what they neglected to tell the landlord was the birthday they were celebrating was a historical figure, let's say.
The one who represents the number 18.
Yes, the one who was very nasty.
Yeah.
Had a silly moustache. They were celebrating his birthday.
Oh, lovely.
And somebody called the police.
Yeah.
And then the landlord reported them as well, and they've all been arrested.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, because it was blatantly on the cake and stuff, but the landlord was like, we couldn't see him because we were in the back room and they didn't tell us any of that. We just thought it was a birthday party.
Yeah.
It's all on the pub CCTV. And it's like, the one advantage that we have over these morons, these kind of people, is that they're so stupid. They can't help but give themselves away. Like your friend with the flag, or these idiots in the pub.
Yeah.
They're so stupid, they can't help but say, I am a nasty. Or I am a this, or I am a that. And it's like, you don't have to find them. They jump out at you and you're like, so
they wonder why people react the way they do towards them. That's the thing I find the most fascinating is
how can they not realise
that people are going to be peeved?
I I mean, that's the thing. You have to be grateful to them in a way that you don't have to go to a lot of effort to weed them out of your circle of friends because they just make themselves so obviously known.
Can't help themselves, can they?
No, they can't. They just cannot help themselves. Simpletons. I don't know. So we've got that going for them. They're all morons and they can't help but review. It's like, imagine if they formed a nation and tried to do any kind of espionage or spy work.
Yeah, they wouldn't be very good, would they?
My name is David. I am a spy, but I'd like to work for your top secret company. No, you just said you're a spy. Did I? I did not say that. You just said you're a spy. Oh.
Yeah, Edward's on about the Confederate flag. Yeah, you know what it's like. Edward's always that one person that will kick off, and I've been down that road before, and it's like, oh, really? Pathetic, really, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, but like I say, at least they're so stupid that they make themselves known. Nice. Little effort for us. Like your friend with your shirt. Here's the truth about me. Okay, walking away off the beach now. Bye.
Yeah, it was one of those. I mean,
Come on, love, we're going.
You know, I've been in Facebook groups where people have posted up models with symbology on, and people are like, yeah, totally get it. And we had one guy, I can remember nerfing him from my group years and years ago, was very, can we say this, white supremacist, wasn't he?
Yes.
You know the guy I'm on about, and was always putting up anything to do with symbology of that kind. And he did one photo of this particular build. What he didn't realise is he reflected in the cabinet. And behind him was full regalia, wasn't it? And wasn't he wearing a uniform at the time? I can't remember. I showed you the picture, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think there was something outstandingly stupid going on in the picture. And the reflection, it was like, really?
Yeah. I said, how fast do you think I can hit the button this time? And he was like, go for it. And it's like, yeah, you're gone.
It's like, you know, it was virtually singing Springtime for Hitler in Germany in the background.
Oh, mate, it was like, yeah.
Yeah, I had, because I used to hang around with all these people, one of the pubs I used to go to when I was younger. And we were all like good mates and stuff. We used to play pool in the pub and things. And then one day, we were all going on like a group who was going to Alton Towers, and we had to stop off at this guy's house to pick him up. Yeah. And I went in, and he was just getting ready and stuff. So I walked up to get him, and I like opened his room, the door of his room, and it's like, there's a flag on the wall, and there's a uniform on a mannequin. I'm like, oh yes. And then he comes out with us, and he's wearing a Feldmutz, you know, the field cap, and I'm like, no insignia on it, and I'm like, oh, you're one of these. Yeah. You know, there's a ceremonial dagger on the wall. I'm like, that's a book. So I'm like, oh, you're one of them. Yeah, I didn't hang out with him after that. Unfortunately, I was already on the way to Alton Towers. It's like, yeah. I think his name was Bob, but he was like, oh, you're one of them. Right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And what makes it even funnier? You know what makes it even funnier?
What's that?
Specifically with the nasties. Is given the ideology, which I won't go into obviously, but given the ideology, it's always the most chinless, spawny, useless, gormless people that do it. And it's like they're the least example of what that ideology actually promotes. Yeah. And yet it's always people like that. And it's like, really? You wouldn't last 5 minutes?
Yeah, Bill says he's been to Belson. It's really eerie sensation just being in the place. Yeah, a good friend of mine's a long-distance lorry driver. And he went to the anniversary at Auschwitz a few years back.
Yep.
He said, I'm not an emotional man. He said, but literally the minute you go in, you feel different. He said, you've got to go there and experience it to know what I mean. And he said, and I was in the emotional wreck all the time I was in. He said, as soon as we came out, he said, it was different. He said, it's really spooky feeling, so I can relate to what you're saying, Bill. And he was going to take me over there. And I said, I don't think I'm mentally able to deal with it, to be quite honest with you. I'd get too emotional and then it would mess with me. So, yeah.
I know somebody that went there to Auschwitz as well, and they said it's weird. He said, I know it's not real, but it was almost like when you walked through the gate, all the birdsong just stopped.
Yeah.
And he said, obviously it didn't, but it just felt that way. Psychologically, it was like silence, and suddenly the sky was suddenly grim and dark.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I know it wasn't realistically, it was exactly the same as from 5 yards away, but
Yeah.
you can't help thinking it felt like that. It felt like the birds had just stopped and the sky had darkened and everything was silence.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
Yeah, it's quite poignant when you hear people talk about it. You know,
I do want to go one day to see that.
I'd like to go, but I think mentally, I think I would struggle with it, and it might set me off. So, yeah, because people that don't know I'm a bloody chronic depressive, and I think that wouldn't be a thing that would do me any good. So
no, I mean, you're like me, you're chronic depressive, and you've got exceptional empathy as well.
Yeah, I would.
You're a nightmare for being empathetic to other people like I am. It's like I'd see a little lady fall over in the street and I'm a wreck.
Yeah, because I would. We watched the film Schindler's List.
Oh yeah, that's a masterpiece.
And I was so lump in the throat because of what those people suffered, and it really played on my mind because I wanted to go and undo the history, and I get in this bubble, this cycle, because I can't go back and change it, and it really did affect me. So yeah, that's how I get. I know it sounds silly, but it's just how I am. You always tell me off, don't you? Because I take the world's problems on me shoulders. Not because I'm trying to be a counsellor or anything like that. It's just I sympathise with people and their experiences.
I'm the same. As I say, I always find myself when I'm either witness or view or read or listen about somebody else's suffering, I kind of end up feeling, imagining what it's like to feel that, and then I get too empathetic, and then I get wrecked.
H says it all the time because she suffers from scoliosis, curvature of the spine. And she'll have good and bad days with it. She'll go, oh, hark at me. She said, compared to you, this is nothing. And I go, I'll stop you there. To you, that is the worst pain imaginable. So I feel your pain, love it. It's not a competition. To you, that pain is excruciating. And I've done the same with you, haven't I?
Yeah, you've done the same with me when I've had a bad knee or something.
You go, look at me, you've got all this going on, and I'm whining about my knee. And I go, yeah, but to you, that's the worst pain in the world. So I sympathise, mate. And then I get all frustrated because I can't help you with your pain. And you're like, dude, yeah,
don't worry about it.
You know, why are you stressing? Why? Because I want to take your pain away. I'm a bit of an old hippie, folks. That's probably
you are. I mean, you had half the hippie haircut when you had your mullet.
Yeah, and I've got that inner compassion. I never had it until I got my prognosis with the MS. And up until then, I had a very burn the candle at both ends, and I wasn't very empathetic to others. Whereas this is why when people say, would you take your illness away? I always say, no, I wouldn't. It's because it's made me a better person, because I've got an empathy for people, their situation and health or life worries that I didn't have as a young man.
No, and well, you know where you would be if you hadn't had that illness anyway. So say no more.
God, yeah, say no more, mate. I led a very tumultuous lifestyle.
Festa is a character.
Yeah, you was quite shocked, wasn't you? It's like, yeah.
Shocked, but also in awe a little bit. But
yeah. I made a lifestyle choice and change when when my boys were sort of 3 and 18 months old, and I completely turned my life around.
You did a bit of a massive handbrake turn.
Yeah,
for the best.
Absolutely, but you was quite shocked, weren't you? Because we went into detail, and it's look, here's this person and this person.
Let's just say if you could talk to 20, 30 years ago Festa today, not mean you, I mean people watching, he will be the last person who would even begin to think for 1 minute that modern day Festa today would be making toy soldiers and playing silly video games and doing internet nonsense.
I know.
You'd be like, You what? Do you need a slap?
We had this hangout one night, me and him, and we was reminiscing like Statler and Waldorf. And he said, wind the clock back 30 years. If you could go back to young Festa and say, in this period of time, you're going to be doing this, how would you react? And I just went, yeah, you're having a bubble, mate.
Yeah, you would have just got slapped.
He said, but it's how your life has completely transformed from then and now. And I was like, yeah, who would have thought it, eh?
Yeah.
But it's funny, me missus says it's almost like she's been married twice.
Yeah. Well, it's, you know, who you were and who you are now is two so vastly different people.
So different. And I'm not the only person in this community.
Oh, no.
Or in the world that has made a lifestyle change or choice for the better, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I am so content with the fact that I made the right choice. It's like,
you made absolutely the right choice. Now, it's 2:00, you farty old bastard, so...
yeah, we're going to be winding up. I'm just going to finish gluing this bit together.
I'll show people my horsey that I've finished. With look at its feet, Festa. Look at its feet. You need to look at its feet. I'm not
doing it because I am gluing this final bit together because you've pointed out it's 2:00.
So I've finished that horsey. I've got to say, the pose of that guy is obviously about to ram his grenade spear into somebody at ground level. It's just
he's going to ram it in, is he?
He's going to ram it into the relevant location. And you can see there I've put the bit of easy line just to hide the little bit of a mismatch between the rein there and the bit of a hand.
You hide something with easy line, dear, at your age.
But at least it works, because with a rein you might have a bit of rope as well as the rein, so it just wraps around that bit there. And then
with your reputation.
We need to tidy that one little bit up there because it's moved. So that's what I've done tonight. I've put the dude on that horse. I've only got like 100 more to go. I will try really hard to get the rest of them done in my own time this week.
Oh, right,
And then be doing something else next week, because I'm getting, like you said before, you do these, because you only do these on the live stream, or at least I do, and you don't do that much off camera either with these.
No.
Because these only tend to get done during the live stream. It drags a build out for months, and it gets kind of tedious. Because it's the kind of thing you'd have fun with for a few days.
Don't you?
Yeah, because when you're building a model, it's a kind of fun thing that lasts a few days, and then you get to painting it. But when you're dragging it out for weeks and weeks, it can get really a bit. So I'm getting to that point now with these. I just want to get them built and move on to the next thing.
It's like these little trucks, you know, they've been on the bench for a little while now because I've done 3 in close succession. But
it's not that we're bored with the kit. There's nothing wrong with the kit. It's just...
I can sit and do something else. Like I say, I'll have a look during the week and... probably, might be that I do a bit of painty on the digger. I don't know. Probably will do something like that.
The thing I don't get with these horsey mans, right, is that when you build an army, you tend to paint like the commander very carefully because he's the character.
Yes.
Or the sergeant or something you do, and then the rank and file troops you just paint. You don't have to paint them very detailed because they're going to be on the tabletop, so you can do a bit of a rush paint job with them. But with these guys, every single one of these horsey mans on his horsey is a complete masterpiece.
Yeah, I'm not going to stare at his toes. Toes. Yeah, damn you. So, I can't see your side of the screen. There's no one there. There's no one there, Cole. There's no one there.
So I can't imagine, painting the sergeant of this group well and then just painting the other guys rough. They're all going to be little masterpieces. So it's going to be a long paint.
Absolutely.
What have you done anyway?
Bobbin says, finishing breakfast now. Thanks for the show. Max says, great show. Thank you very much. What have I done? I have...
This week, Matthew...
Got the bumper on, I've glued the cab on, I've put the front fenders on, the side engine covers, because this should all get airbrushed and all of that lot, and then I'll come back and detail paint it, and then I'm doing obviously the rear flaps. I've done a wheel and a bit of the roof. The only reason I haven't fixed the roof because I should be going in and doing some detail painting in the dash, and then the roof will go on. So that's all I've done really, but there's not that much more to do on it. It's going to be obviously the lorry bed, etc. And then that's pretty much it. So when it gets to that sub-assembly stage, this will be moved off. But what I might do is I might move it off, do a bit off air and do something else on the stream. I don't know. I might do a bit of painting next week. We'll see.
I'm giving Bill 100 internet points because he's the one person apart from you who's ever got the reference, just the one Mrs. Wembley. He says, just the one horsey Mrs. Wembley.
Yeah, Mrs. Wembley's my Aunt Win when she has sherry.
Just the one Mrs. Wembley.
All right, well, yeah, just the one she does. Winnie is Hyacinth Bouquet and Mrs. Wembley all in one. You know, because she lives in St. Wreatham, Winnie.
Of course she does, yes.
Which is Streatham. But in Winside, it's St. Wreatham.
I just love the fact that you're this big burly bloke and you're surrounded by the tiniest of ladies.
I know, and they all boss me around and tell me what to do. And
yeah, these tiny, tiny ladies that just control your life completely. It's so adorable.
Well, you've actually seen Aunt Win. You're rare privileged, you are. Micro Bum, Aunt Win, and Micro H. You are rather privileged, mate.
It's just the fact that, you know, these tiny ladies all around you and you are the least dominant man in that entire family.
Yeah, they all literally come up to my elbow. But they could all mould me around their little finger, and it's like, oh, look at him, look at him, he's lost. And I'm like, don't do this. Because the three of them under one roof, they will gang up on me. It's like a legion. Yeah.
It's like, you know, you see that video where you get like a massive Great Dane and it's being terrorised by the tiniest of kittens.
Yeah.
Basically Festa and the ladies.
Sophie sums it up, and Bill, little ladies are the most dangerous, exactly.
Especially Scottish ones. Oh,
PJ says, great stream, you two. Hope to see you and everybody chat again next week. Till then, stay safe. Don't forget, folks, we are back on Monday for the E-Models Monday show over on the E-Models YouTube. So pop along and keep us company for that. We're going to be doing them once a month. But also ring the bell on my channel, folks, because I'm going to be trying to get round to doing some of the pop-up streams. Probably do a Wednesday one and just pop a stream up and then, you know, just sit there, whatever I'm doing at the bench, and shoot the breeze with you, just to give something back, basically. So I'll do them as often as I can. I won't schedule them for every week because there's going to be some weeks where I might be a bit tired, etc.
Yeah,
but
it's as and when you're up to it. Basically.
Absolutely. But everyone, thank you so much for keeping us two idiots company.
Yes.
Thanks to you all for your super chats. You really do keep this channel alive and going for me.
Absolutely.
And it literally keeps me head above the water. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for every penny that you donate, folks. So big, big thank you for all of that. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Don't forget, tomorrow night, tune in to Marcus. He's on Saturday night. So you're the man with the purveyor of the best beard in the world. So tune in for that. Go and keep him company. He's a dear friend of mine, and yeah, he's nuts. So we'll leave you with that. Stay safe and well. Bye for now.
Adios, amigos.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient.